Spring has begun to shine her light on my part of the earth. There are signs of new life everywhere. I just couldn't wait to get outside and start working on my gardens, laying down fresh compost, spending time in the greenhouse, planting new seeds. Just as nature around me knows exactly what to do, working tirelessly to create new life, so am I. It's a cycle I feel excited to be a part of. This past week, excavation began on our homestead. We had been experiencing flooding on part of our land, so we decided to address it this year, expanding our existing creek and making new creek beds. I was amazed at how quickly the excavator was able to transform that part of our land in only a couple days. It seemed like such a big job, but he managed to get it done. I kept checking in on the progress and couldn't believe how different this area was beginning to look. Now we're left with a few new swales, a bigger creek, and a very muddy ground. We'll be planting some tall grass seed here and some trees such as willow, black locust, and native hazelnuts to further reduce the amount of water that comes through here. These trees love water and thrive on creek banks and marshy areas. I'll also be planting some wildflowers and herbs, and I'm even considering growing rice throughout the space. Hopefully this will help reduce the amount of flooding we've been having and make this part of our land more vibrant and full of possibility. I planted more seeds in the greenhouse and had been battling mice. They were getting into some of my newly planted flats and devoured all of my sunflower and cilantro seeds. I'm on my way back to the greenhouse. I spent all day yesterday planting some seeds, and I went in there today to check on them, and mice got in the greenhouse and just rummaged through everything that I had planted. So I don't even know what seeds are salvageable, as far as what seeds are left in the cells, or if they had gotten most of it or not. So very, very frustrating. I had a little bit of an issue last year with some mice, but not too much. I'm thinking that having this in here, this winter season, these are the strawberries, the tower that I had planted, the green stalk tower last year. And so I was trying to save the strawberries and keep them in here over winter, as you can see here. But I think that this has been housing some mice throughout the season as well. And I noticed a lot of droppings, you can see here, and this was kind of lining the shelf, and you can see they have like an easy access onto that. So I just came in and put these couple trays of seeds that I had just planted on top of this shelf, hoping that maybe that'll keep them out of reach from these. But the shelf isn't large enough for me to put all of my seed trays on. And normally I would also be utilizing this shelf as well for seeds, but because of this being in here, I can't. And so I'm trying to figure out what to do about that, because I can't obviously put this outside yet. I mean, I thought about it. It's strawberries. I would have to cover it with a heavy frost blanket if I do that, just to get it outside. But I know that we are expecting some cooler temperatures again as we transition into the warmer spring days. Like even today, yesterday was really beautiful. It was in the mid 50s as a high. Today is in the low to mid 30s. And then we start to climb back up and even hit 70 by this weekend, but then it dips right back down again. So we're kind of doing the roller coaster. And I just don't know if putting the strawberries out right now is a wise thing to do, even if I do cover them and insulate them with that blanket. So right now I'm just trying to figure this out. This is obviously thrown a little bit of a curveball at me.
I tried a few different methods to deter them, using peppermint oil, and even built a trap using a 5-gallon bucket, a wired coat hanger, an empty can, peanut butter, and a plank of wood. I tried filling the bucket with water, but eventually preferred lining the inside of the bucket with oil so that I could release as many as I could into an empty field many miles down the road. The mice started to understand how the trap worked and got a little clever, moving the can far to one side of the bucket so that they could eat the peanut butter without falling in. So I had to add tape to either side of the can to keep them from sliding it around. That seemed to work for the time being. I planted several new seeds in the greenhouse and the garden and had to bring in my ginger starts because the temperatures had dropped again.
I was a little nervous yesterday, mainly because of the cooler weather. They do not like cold weather. They are a tropical plant, and so they like it warm. And so I was very concerned yesterday because that was the first day that we had that was a little cooler in a while. And I've just been keeping an eye on the weather as I plant things and get them outdoors or in the greenhouse because as you can see here on the thermostat, it is 78 degrees in here right now. When I planted these a couple days ago, it was 85 in the greenhouse.
I have seed starts in just about every window of my house, and the greenhouse is quickly filling up as well. I'm adding more flowers to the cottage garden by the house, such as peonies and ranunculus. It feels so good to see pops of color in the greenhouse right now, while those wait to be planted in their permanent home.
Today was a great day for planting some below grounders because we are still in the dark moon phase. We will be entering the new moon, the light moon phase here really soon, once we get to the new moon on April 1st. So that entire first week of April is such a great week for planting above grounders. So I'll be busy in the garden then, planting a lot of seeds. Oh, look, this flat here that's full of different medicinal herbs, I'm super excited about because as you guys know, I'm wanting to expand my medicinal herb garden this year. And so I have things in here like more sweet Annie, which is the one that I loved growing last year. And that is the form of wormwood that I love and is really good at killing parasites, internal parasites, bacteria, worms, all of that, viruses. So that is something I take whenever I start to feel the slightest bit ill or have anything like starting like a runny nose, anything like that. I will take Sweet Annie and it just knocks it out so fast, so fast. So that is an herb that I have grown very, very fond of and have really started to develop a deeper relationship with. So I knew I wanted to grow more of that this year. So I'm really excited about that herb. And then there's another one I'm going to be trying, Self Heal, which is another fantastic herb. So I'm excited about that. I have valerian root in here, hyssop. I have St. John's wort, mullein, which is great for respiratory. I have arnica, which is great for pain relief. I have chicory, feverfew, and catnip. So I am going to step out of here because it's getting quite warm. Anytime I work in the greenhouse right now, this time of year, I'm just constantly stripping clothes off because it's so hot. And honestly, guys, it's just the better way to work. When you have less clothes, restricting you. And it just feels nice to feel the wind, the air against your skin, feel the sun hit your skin. Not being afraid of dirt, letting that touch your skin. It's just great. Honestly, there's an innocence to it of feeling a little bit like a kid walking outside, letting your tushy hang out and just kind of enjoying the freedom.
Well, it was in my childhood days. Oh Lord, many long years ago. Now with the Spirit, now of my Savior, I was filled, Lord, filled. Oh, in that old fashioned meeting. Oh Lord, our memories, they linger still in that little, that wooden church house out on a hill. You know, every Sunday morning, we had the family prayer. Then to that old country wagon, all would feel, oh Lord, all would feel. Well, we got out on our journey, moving over rocks, God knows and real, to that little, that wooden church house out on a hill. Well, when that old-fashioned preacher.
Many of you already know how much I love working with medicinal herbs. I believe that everything we need to be healthy can be found on this earth and through our spiritual connection to all living things. By nature, we are organic beings. Plants have been used as medicine for years. Today, there are over 35,000 medicinal plants recorded, many of which help our bodies heal and stay healthy. I discovered that I really love making herbal tea blends. There's something about touching the herbs, seeing them in all their glory and in all their beautiful colors, smelling them and eventually tasting them as I sip a warm cup of tea. I love to taste the combination of herbs, the flavors that they bring, sometimes earthy and sometimes sweet or floral. It makes me feel all that much closer to the plant, all the while knowing that I'm drinking in their medicinal benefits. I have a tea blend for men called Beam Me Up, which helps increase libido and balances hormones such as testosterone. It's like nature's Viagra. I also have an herbal blend that is especially good for digestion, easing the tummy, reducing bloating, gas, and calms the mind. It also tastes amazing, so I like to have it after a meal or before bed. These teas and many more are on my website at thenakedgardener.us, including herbs to raise healthy chickens naturally without chemicals. Check them out at the link below. Spring is a time of renewal. It's a time of year when we get to see the earth transform, bringing new life and becoming vibrant again with greens and just about every other color you can imagine. To see everything become alive again makes me feel more alive. The sun shines its light more, warming the earth, giving energy to these new plants and to us, reminding us that brighter days are ahead and that from deep within the earth and deep within ourselves, new life is waiting to erupt. It is always changing, and there is purpose behind each and every season and phase. It's a cycle of death and rebirth, dark and light. Both exist around us and within us. And when we start to understand this and honor it, we begin to transform with it, realizing our own role in this big, beautiful world.